Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a story time. I know I have not posted in a very long time, and that is because I had a lot of things going on. And yeah, first quarantine happened, and then like it got pretty crazy and stuff. And then my kids stayed home, like their school shut down, and like they needed a lot of attention, so I couldn't really like do my makeup, and I wasn't even focusing on doing my makeup and stuff. So yeah, and then with the online school, it was freaking hard. Like it was pretty hard to like adjust them to like computer and stuff like that. Once like I have two kids, so it's very hard for me to like help both of them at the same time and stuff like that. So I had to very like adjust to like time for both of them, and it was like I'm itchy. It was like very hard. So I took time off and decided not to post, or I didn't even have time for it. So yeah, now that I do have a little bit more time. So yeah. And then another thing that happened was I broke my arm. I broke my arm. And that is basically like I couldn't like do anything at all. So I couldn't even like do makeup or do anything. Yeah, and then I'm gonna tell the story of like how I fell and like everything that happened. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. Okay, so since quarantine happened, like there was nothing like to do or nothing, and every day we would like walk around in the like afternoon, or just take the kids out to like the park. Not the park, they were closed, like to ride around the scooters and stuff like that, you get me? So one day we were walking, and my husband decided it was a good idea to get my skates out. Mind you, I don't skate. I got them for Christmas. I did used to like roller skate when I was like 10 years old or like 13, but obviously like I kind of forgot and everything. And then I used to skate like with the ones with the four wheels like straight, and he got me one wheel like four wheelers like that. So I was like, okay, like yeah, let's go do it. And I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to go like it's like just a walking trail. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea, but here I go. I'm on the walking trail, right? And then I told my, okay, so I feel like everything is karma, because I literally told my husband, I was like, hold my phone, because I'd rather break my head than crack my phone. And yeah, God me castigó, and he said, you know what, break your arm. And we were walking, and I was doing pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I was doing pretty good on the skates. But then we got to a hill, like downhill, and my husband was like, oh my god, no, because the kids are gonna fall, like San derecho. And I was like, no, like I think they got it, whatever. And then we were walking our dog. Well, he had him. He was walking the dog, and then I saw the hills. I was like, okay, it's pretty like deep, you know, like it's not like a little hill. It's like that. So I was like, okay, like I must stop, and like I'm already stopping, and I don't know how to stop with the brake, like the front brake. I don't know how to stop, like I'll fall. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop, because the trail's right here, the walking trail, and then like right next to it there was a little bit of dirt. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop on the dirt. So I'm going, and like I'm going very slow at this point. Like I literally stopped to the dirt, and I had a water bottle. With me, and I noticed that I'm gonna fall. So I don't know how the water like gets it like this, and like it throws it back. And like I guess like cause the hand was heavy, because this one I put it to the front. This one was like it went back, and it landed like straight like this. Like it landed like straight like that. And then this bone right here was like, no, this bone right here was like cracked all the way over here. My skin didn't open or anything, so that was a good thing. And I thought it was just like dislocated, because I don't know. And like as soon as I fell, I screamed, and I to my husband, I was like, fuck, I broke my arm. And he was like, no, like don't even say that. And then like I didn't even see it yet, but then like as soon as I turned, I was like, oh shit, like yeah, it gets broken. Like the whole bone was like out, like everything was like out. So he gets my hand, and like he stretches it, and like I see the bone like going back. So I'm like, okay, I don't think it's that bad, but like I was still crying and stuff, you know. And then I stayed there for like probably like 5 minutes, just crying and crying and crying. And then people were passing by and I was just crying. And then some lady stopped. She was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And like it was so painful. My husband was like, "Should I call the ambulance?" But I'm like, no, like I feel like I could walk to the car and stuff like that, like walk back home or something, you know. But I was like, I don't need the whole ambulance there. So I was like, yeah, I'm fine, you know. She was like, are you sure? Like, do you need me to like help you? And I was like, no, I'm fine. I was embarrassed, like, fuck, you know, I was embarrassed. So I was like, no, I'm fine. And like, I was like, fuck, like, I was crying, like, it was hurting so bad, like, it was so bad. So my husband was like, should I take you to hospital, or like, do you think it's just like the bone gonna go back to its normal place, you know? So I was like, no, I'm gonna go to the hospital. I was crying and crying and crying. So I had to like carry my arm like this, like I was carrying it like this the whole time back home. And then luckily we didn't go that far because we were planning to go like very far. And then I'm sorry if I'm saying and then a lot. I'm so sorry. But then my kids were there, like instead of coming to me, well, they came and then they were like, oh my god, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then like I didn't want to like cry so much in front of them, but I couldn't help it. But they were like still riding their scooters and like up and down the hill while I was like crying on the floor. I was there and the guy took me to get my x-rays done. Oh my god, like he didn't even ask me like, did they give you any medicine or something? Like he just took me to the room and like he's like, okay, now I'm gonna put your arm here. Oh my god, I started crying so much. Like he literally just grabbed my arm. I had it like this. He grabbed my arm and he went like this to the desk, and I was crying and I was like, oh my god, like no, like it's hurting too much. Like I can't even move it. I was like, I can't move it, like it hurts too much. Because he was like, try to do it like this. And I was like, no, like it's impossible. I was like, I can't. And he said, did you get any medicine? I was like, no. And he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then he takes me back to a room, and then the nurse comes and she's like, okay, like what's your pain level? I'm like, bitch, I'm crying, like sucking my freaking bed, like crying, you know. I'm like a 10. And she's like, okay, it's pretty bad, huh? I'm like, yes, bitch, like it's bad, like it's bad. And I'm like, you see my bone like over here, like popping out, like, you know. I'm like, yes, it's bad. And then she was like, okay, like I'm gonna give you some, what was she gonna give me? Oh, she was gonna give me Norcos. And then this other nurse comes and then she looked at it and she was like, no, like she's like, Norco won't do nothing to her. So they put what did they put? I don't know if I'm saying it right. Morphine. That medicine, it's supposed to be like very strong, whatever. Okay, they injected it and I wasn't feeling anything, like nothing at all. And then he's like, okay, like you're gonna get a little lightheaded and stuff like that, which yeah, I did get a little lightheaded, but the pain was there and it was like very, very strong. And I was like, fuck, like I can't do it. Like he was like, are you ready for the x-rays? And I was like, no, like it still hurts like a lot. Like I was like, it hurts pretty bad. So then they waited like 30 minutes and they gave me something stronger, which I don't know the name. They just drugged me up in there. They gave me 2 times of those. They gave me the morphine, something like that. And then they gave me the other one, which he said it was pretty strong. It was stronger than the morphine. So I took 2 of those. Like they injected it 2 times. And then they literally had like a security outside my door because he said that the medicine makes you like talk things and like just act pretty stupid, you know. So I was like, okay, like I was like, fuck. And then he's like, don't worry, like whatever you say is just gonna be kept in here. And I was like, okay. And then they were like, once I was drugged up, they were asking me like, where was your husband when you fell? Like, was there any witness? And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, I fell roller skating. And he's like, he was asking me like, trying to say like, did your husband push you or like? And I'm like, dude, I'm not stupid. Like I'm not stupid. And the medicine wasn't even kicking to me. Like I was just chilling, like I was just like laying down. And like he was asking me so many stupid questions, and I was like, dude, like stop. Like I was like, I felt roller skating, and he's like, is there any witness? I was like, well, the people that walked through the trail. I was like, I didn't ask him like, hey, can you be a witness? I was like, no. Like I was like, they were just walking, and he's like, okay. I was like, and then he's like, did your kids see you fall? I'm like, yes, they did. I'm like, they saw me fall, and they're like, okay, like that's fine then. And I'm like, what the fuck, you know? Like, and then he was like, where's your husband right now? I'm like, in the car waiting with my kids. And he's like, okay, that's okay then. And I'm like, dude, like fucking fix my arm or something, cause it hurts, you know. And then whatever, like 20 minutes pass, and like I'm starting to feel like my arm more relaxed, like more numb. So that's when they come and they do the X-ray, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna get a cast and go home, and like they'll like, I don't know, I wasn't thinking nothing big. Like I was just like, they'll probably just put a cast on it. So she comes in, a nurse, she was very, very nice. She comes in and she's like, oh my God, like, how did you fail? And I was like, I was roller skating. And it's kind of embarrassing to say, like, I was roller skating, but I was actually, like, already standing, like, stopped, and I just, like, slid back. I don't know how it happened. It was so quick. Like, I feel like I blacked out. So I was like, I just fell. Like, it was crazy. And then she was like, oh my God, like, she said, how's your pain right now? Which it wasn't that bad anymore. Like, it was already, well, I was like all drugged up. So I was like, it's probably like a 3. And she's like, okay. And then she's like, I have like very bad news for you. And I was like, what? And then as soon as she said that, I don't know why I started crying, but I was like, what? I was already crying. And she's like, no, it's okay. Like, it's not that bad. So I was like, okay. And then she's like, so we got the x-rays back, and like she put the x-rays, and like I really don't understand x-rays. And I'm like, what? And she's like, you see, like this bone is supposed to be here, but yours is like all the way up here, and like this bone, I sliced it like in the middle, like it got sliced, and this one got sliced too, like it got like cut like 3 times or something. I don't know what the hell. And like this part, it basically like everything was gone, like there was no bone there. So I was like, okay, like I was like, fuck, like, and I'm like, so what's gonna happen? And she's like, well, you're gonna have surgery, like they're gonna have to do your surgery. So I was like, okay, like, well, that's what I have to do then, okay. But I mean, surgery counts, it sounds scary, you know, like regardless, it sounds scary. And I was like, oh my God, like, and the first thing I thought was like, fuck, like my kids, my husband. I was like, I'm here alone. And I was like, okay, like whatever. It's like, and I was crying and crying and crying, and she's like, I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes to like take it in. And I was like, okay. Then I called my husband right away, and I was like, I'm gonna get surgery. I thought I was gonna get surgery like right there and then, like they'll take me to the surgery room and do my surgery. And then I was like, I'm gonna get surgery. And he's like, it's okay, like don't worry. And I was like, oh my God, like take care of the kids and like tell them I love them. And I was so scared. But then she came back and she's like, we're gonna schedule your, I fell on a Thursday. She's like, I'm gonna schedule your surgery for Monday. And then it was a long weekend. It was a long weekend we had. And I was like, oh like I was like, what the hell? Like I'm gonna be with a broken arm. And I thought I was just gonna have it like with the little sling they put you to all the way till Monday. So she's like, I'm gonna put you a cast. And they did, like they were wrapping the cast around me. And then she's like, yeah, we'll schedule your surgery for Monday. So like if something opens up, or like if a doctor wants to come and like do the surgery sooner, like she's like, we'll give you a call. So I was like, okay, that's fine, you know. And I was like, that's fine. And then so I was like, okay, whatever, you know, like they're doing the cast, and I was still like super drugged out. And then they were like, do you feel like throwing up? And I was like, no. And then they were like, do you feel dizzy? And I was like, yeah, like everything was like going around, you know. And at that point I wasn't really understanding what she was telling me, because I was like very, very drugged out, you know, like, and like I was just like, okay, like okay. And then she's like, okay, like we're gonna send you home, and yeah, like we'll call you back. So I was like, okay. It took probably like an hour and a half or an hour, because they had me in the room like laying down for like about 40 minutes, just laying down. And then whatever, I came home, and not the next day, Friday. Okay, so they go Friday, and they didn't call me. No, they called me. they called me. They told me like, they're like, hey, a doctor seen your x-rays, and he said like that he's gonna do your surgery because like it's pretty bad, like you really need it. And like I was like, okay. I was like, okay, fine. I was like, when is the surgery? And she said, I think I got it Saturday. Yeah, I got it Saturday. I was like, okay. And then she's like, so these are the things that you have to do. And then I had to get tested for corona. I was taking Norcos. And then I couldn't eat that morning since my surgery was at 5 or 6. So I couldn't, my last like sip of water or anything was at 10 in the morning or 9 in the morning. So I was swallowing saliva the whole day hard because I bet you was thirsty and I couldn't even drink nothing. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I went to go get tested because they told me like come at this time at the Kaiser I was in. And then I went and they're like, no, we don't test here. And I was like, okay. So like I was like, what do I do? I was like, because without the test, I was like, I can go into surgery. So like I was there for like about an hour, and then my surgeon called and he's like, no, like I'm gonna do her the test the same day of the surgery, so which is tomorrow. He's like, after surgery. So I did the whole test. Oh my god. At first they did it like through the mouth, like all the way in, like they touch here and then like here, and then they do it through the nose. Oh my god, that shit hit my brains because I was like, fuck, like it was so painful. It wasn't that painful, but it was like the molesta, you know, like I mean, come on, something in your nose. So yeah, so I was like, okay. And I was like so scared, and I have some pictures like that I took that I posted. I think I only took one. Yeah, I think I took one. And like I called my mom and everything, and my mom lives 7 hours away. So I was like so scared like to be alone, you get me? And then they told me, they're like, okay, when you come out like at a surgery, like you're only gonna stay like 30 minutes and go home. Went into surgery. The last thing I remember in surgery, there was a nurse there. She was talking to me. She was very nice, and like she was just telling me like, oh my god, how you felt? And like I told her, and like I knocked out. Oh, I remember. He was marking my arms like where he was gonna like open or something. So, and then I just knocked out. And then the next thing I remember is like opening my eyes, and like I had like 3 nurses in front of me, and they're like, don't go back to sleep, don't go back to sleep. And I was like, what the fuck? And then like I opened my eyes, and I was like, and then I'll knock out again, and they're like, no, like wake up. And they were like that for like a long time. And then from far away I heard like the phone, and I knew it was my husband because she was like, they were like, okay, yeah, she's gonna stay overnight and I don't know what. And I was like, what the fuck, like I thought I was gonna go home, you know. And then I told the nurse, I was like, am I gonna get surgery? And she's like, no, like you're out of surgery already. And I was like, okay, like I was like, oh, okay, like I can't feel my arm. And she's like, yeah, that's normal. I had it like with the big cast on and everything. And then she's like, oh, your little sister called. And I was like, my little sister? And she's like, yeah, you have one, right? And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, yeah, she called that, like, how are you? And I was like, okay. And I was like, am I gonna go home? And then she's like, no, like you're gonna stay overnight. And I was like, okay, like did you guys let my husband know? And she was like, yeah, we already called him and everything. And I was like, okay. And that little sister we're talking about is my husband's daughter, which she was here with us helping me. And I was like, okay. But they didn't even call him like to let him know like that I was gonna stay. He had to call over and over and over to let him know that I was gonna stay over the night, which I don't know what was the big deal, like of them not telling him right away, you get me? So I was like, because it was already like what, like I went into surgery at 6. I got out around 10. No, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got in. It was supposed to be a 2-hour surgery, which he said it got complicated, so it went to like 3 hours and a half. So he said that this, like the codo, this, when he opened it, like he opened it up, it was like nothing there. Everything was crumbs. Like all my bones were like just crumbs. So he said that like he had to like work on it. And then like I have like hardware here, everything here is hardware. Here I have some wires. I had to be like this, like I had to carry it up everywhere. And like to go to the restroom I needed help, to like lay down I needed help, to get up I needed help, to do anything. Like if I'll do like this, it will like hurt so bad. Or if I'll pick something up with this hand, like everything will hurt on this arm. So it was like pretty bad. And my mom came to take care of me as well, which Okay, so I had to start the video again. So now, okay, I'm back to the part where I took off my cast. So my hand, when I took it off, it felt like so light, like very lightweight. And then after that, I had to get my x-rays again. And they came back pretty good. The doctor said that my arm looked back to like normal. Well, not back to normal, but like how he put it. So it was pretty good. So when she had to take all the staples, that's where like it was very painful because she had to like do one by one, and I had over 200 staples. So when she was doing it, and the doctor was talking to me. So when he was talking to me, I started getting like very, very sweaty to the point that I looked outside because the window's right there, and I just seen everything so bright that I just passed out, I guess. I don't know what happened to me, because when I woke up, like there was a nurse, like she was giving me like air like that with like something, and then there was like 3 other doctors. One of them had an apple juice, the other one had a water. And then like I woke up and I was like, what happened to me? She's like, oh, like it's normal because of the stitches and like, well, the staples. She's like, your body is not taking a lot of pain anymore, and like she's like, it just needs to rest. And I was like, okay, like that's fine. So whatever, she took it off. I went home and I wasn't able to move it for about 2 weeks. Then after that, I started therapy. No, I started therapy, yeah, 2 weeks after I took off the cast. And I had like a big like a big bandage, you could say, and I wasn't able to take it off. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So I had the big bandage and I wasn't able to take it off until I saw my therapist. So once I saw her, she took it off and she saw that everything was closed except the part like right here, that it wasn't closed. So when she saw it, she tried to call the doctor right away, like to tell him like it was probably infected because it was like very yellow and brown. But the doctors were closed at the time. I'm so sorry, my hair. The doctor was closed at the time, so I had to get it checked out the next day, but everything was normal. And it didn't close for about 3 weeks. Now it's like, okay, I'm gonna show it, so if you don't like it, just skip like 10 seconds. So it looks like this now. I had it from here. It's like from here all the way to somewhere right here. I feel it like somewhere right here. So it closed already, but it still hurts like pretty bad. But now I'm able to like move a little bit more, do things. Well, yeah, I could like do things, and like I have to. And yeah, that's why I didn't post anything. And I barely did my makeup today after a very long time, like eyeshadow and everything. I'm barely like getting to it. I'm barely starting to cook again. To clean my house, I've been cleaning it because I don't like it like messy and stuff, but I'm barely starting to like feel back to my normal self again. So I will be posting more videos now, so yeah, stay tuned. I just don't know what to post, what kind of things you guys want to see, so let me know what you guys want to see. So yeah, bye, thanks for watching, and see you guys in my next video. I promise it will not take like 2-3 months to post again. Bye.